there's a way inside. And sometimes you'll find yourself adrift. And sometimes you'll be adrift and find yourself. 'Cause you're in. You're in. You're in. You're in. There's no way out, but there's a way in. You're in. There's no way out, but there's a way in. You're in. There's no way out, but there's a way in. You're in. There's no way out, but there's a way in. You're in. There's no way out.
Good morning, Unity of Music City, and Happy New Year, everyone. Welcome to the first service of 2023, and today is going to be a very special service. We're going to do a burning bowl service at the end, but let's start singing. Let's get our energy up. Let's get excited. Let's get our energy focused on having a great service. You've got some lyrics there in your hand. We're going old school today. First thing we're going to do is release. The next thing we're going to do is turn it over. There was a time in my life I thought I'd have to do it all for myself. I didn't know the grace of God was sufficient. Didn't know the love of God was at hand. But now I can say, if you're discouraged, struggling just to make it through another day, you've got to let it go, let it all go. And this is what you have to say. Stand up. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. Let me hear you. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here. One more time. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for take it to God in prayer. Turn it over, turn it over, take it to God in prayer. Turn it over, turn it over. God is always there. If you feel sad, lost and alone, take it to God in prayer. Go to the one that you can count on. Take it to God in prayer. Turn it over, turn it over, take it to God in prayer. Turn it over, turn it over. God is always there. God is always there. God is always there. You sound beautiful. Please be seated.
Good morning, Unity of Music City. Let's begin this portion of our service by taking a deep, centering breath. Today's centering statement is, love is what connects us all. The first and most fundamental spiritual principle is love. Love for all beings, for others, for yourself, for the planet, and all creation. And we practice the truest form of love by focusing on appreciation, non-attachment, respect, and having a genuine desire to see the best in everything. We can see the highest form of love when we connect to the divine presence within us. This divine presence, which is called by many names, is the thread which binds us all together. And when we live from that divine love, it blesses and multiplies all that we have, all that we give, and all that we receive. Now please repeat these affirmations after me. I am love, I am loved, and I am loving. I am love, I am loved, and I'm loving. I see love in every person and every situation. I see love in every person and every situation. The love that I give to the world radiates back to me. The love that I give to the world radiates back to me. And so it is.
So it is. I see love in every person and every situation, and I see a lot of love in this room right now. That's right. It's good to see everyone for this special service today. I want to say a shout out to the C family. Hey guys, it's so good to see you. I haven't seen some of you guys since you were little. And boy, you're making me feel really old right now. So good to see everyone. This is Unity of Music City, a place for authentic transformation, which means that wherever you are on your spiritual journey, you are loved and supported here. You are welcome. Everyone is welcome in this place. And we don't just pay lip service to that. We really, truly mean it. Everyone is loved. This is a no judgment zone. So welcome. Sherry, do we have any announcements?
We do. I'll need a microphone for that. Yes.
Probably.
Okay. Good morning. Happy New Year. You guys awake this morning? Yes, you are. We can feel it up here. We sure can. Welcome to 2023. We have a few announcements. You'll notice that our youth program is not rolling this morning, but it will next Sunday kick back in, and everybody's out there doing their New Year thing with their family and friends. I believe Ryan has something to say about Take a Seat, and I will.
do. Yes, we are in the midst of our end-of-year fundraiser, and it's called Take a Seat. And many of you know that this is, we're probably 6 months into living and breathing and working in this building. And so we want to buy some new seats for this sanctuary. And so the executive committee has done a bunch of work and found the best price. And the ideal cost for some really nice seating for this room is $50. We are urging you to contribute to that Take a Seat campaign, whatever you can, because we want to make this a world-class facility for ourselves and the services and the classes and the everything that we do in this room, but we also want to make this a beacon of light to the community that surrounds us and make this space available for weddings and anniversary parties and you name it. And in order to do that, we got to have some really nice seating. So when you're writing out your check or making your PayPal donation, put on there, take a seat in the for section, and that money will go to the Take a Seat campaign. And just to let you know, I think we're about $750 towards our goal. So we're getting there. So keep on contributing. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Ryan. A couple of other announcements you might want to know about. The New Moon Gathering is Friday, January 6th at 7 p.m. Bring a chair, a drum, crystals, sage, or whatever calls to you. We'll build the fire. Feel guided to join our spiritual community. We've got a membership orientation class coming up. So if you would like to be officially a little more with us as far as membership is concerned, this orientation is just for you. Via Zoom, it begins Tuesday, January 10th. So mark the date. Tuesday, January the 10th, and ending late February. Please submit your membership application at unityofmusiccity.com. The membership is open to adults 18 plus, with returning members encouraged to attend, as well as so much has evolved and changed in the past few years. Please call, text Valerie Dennison. Valerie's here. Wave at us, Valerie. Valerie Dennison for more information on this class, 615-414-8899. Okay, Leadership Council meeting. There's a Zoom meeting coming up Wednesday, January the 11th at 6:30. Zoom information can be found on the website and in the 2021 happenings. An email also went out last Wednesday, 12/21. Well, 12/21, that's gone. I just read what's here. So in the happenings that you'll see that link as well. An email also went out last Wednesday with the Zoom information. What do you wish to manifest in 2023? We will process this through discussion, meditation, and an artwork at a vision board workshop facilitated by Aubrey Derryberry on Saturday. Aubrey, wave. Yes, Aubrey's going to be doing this. Right here at Wren Road, 10 a.m. to 12 p. No experience necessary. You don't need to be an artist to do it, right? Okay. All materials are going to be provided. Join us in this special meditation and create your own vision board to take with you. What date was that again? The date, January 14th. I like that date. That's my special day.
Maybe you should come and do some visioning.
Maybe I should. Okay, January 14th, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Prayer chaplains, let's talk about them, are always available for your prayers. If you have a prayer concern that you would like the chaplains to hold the space or make them aware of it, you can email that prayer request to uofmcprayerrequests@gmail.com. There's also a prayer box at the back of the room to drop in your prayer concerns in person. Any and all prayer requests are welcome. And I will say this, if a prayer chaplain, that role kind of speaks to you, then you know what? We welcome you. If you would like more information about being a prayer chaplain, if that calls to your heart, you can let Amy know. Amy, wave at everybody. Those of you online, they probably already know Amy. Everybody knows Amy. Everybody loves Amy. But she's in charge of the prayer chaplain. So if that calls to your heart, give it some time. Maybe today, something Deb says might inspire you to say, I could be a prayer chaplain. So please come forward and let somebody know, because we really would love to have you as a prayer chaplain. Okay, that's my little 2 cents worth. All right.
Also, let me put a plug in. If you have not signed up for our weekly Happenings email newsletter, that comes out usually about Tuesday, you can go to unitymusiccity.com and sign up there. Or you can say hi to Val. I will volunteer Val. Give her your email, and she'll get you on the list. It's okay. That keeps you up to date with everything that's going on here and how you can attend all of the incredible happenings that are happening here at Unity Music City. So, all right, let's sing. Enough talking, let's sing. This song is a great way to start the new year. It's called Everything New. We did it this time last year for the first time. Bring it on, everything new, everything different, everything true. I am ready for my next thing to do. Oh, I know it's going to be everything new. Let's stand. Let me do that again. Let's start again. Bring it on. Everything new, everything different, everything true. I am ready for my next thing to do. Oh, I know it's gonna be everything new. I'm through crying, I'm through waiting, I'm through hoping against all hope. I'm through longing for something gone that'll never return. I think I finally learned, so bring it on. Everything new, everything different, everything true. I am ready for my next thing to do. Oh, I know it's gonna be everything new. I'm through grieving, I'm through dreaming that the life I had is ever coming back. No more wishing on someone else's star that'll never be mine. I think it's finally time. Bring it on. Everything new, everything different, everything true. I am ready for my next thing to do. Whoa, Please be seated.
Good morning, everyone, and Happy New Year. This is the time of our service when we take a few moments to settle into a meditative place, to silence our mind, to still our bodies, so that we can focus on spirit. I invite you to close your eyes if that feels comfortable to you. Or maybe you're more comfortable focusing at a spot on the floor or at a flame. Whatever helps you to shut down as much outward stimuli as possible. And on this very, very special day, we must begin with letting go. During this meditative space, I invite you to let go of everything. Everything. If you have a concern, a worry, set it aside for right now. You can pick it back up again later. But for right now, you can let it go. Any conflict that you might have in your life, or any feeling that does not serve you, for this moment, I invite you to just set them down. Sometimes those things that don't serve us seem to grip us right around our heart space with a physical pressure. If you're feeling any of that right now, I invite you to envision a giant hand releasing and letting go. Whatever is tightening around your heart is loosening, falling away. And for just a moment together as a spiritual community, I invite you to sit in complete nothingness. No thoughts, no feelings, no concerns, no worries, no expectations, no identity even. Just allow yourself to feel the spaciousness of your soul inside of you, around you. If you're concerned that your mind won't allow you to go to nothingness, then perhaps internally you can just think, Om, Om, Om. Whatever it takes to empty yourself out as much as possible. Together we go into that space of emptiness, openness, and readiness. in the silence. In the silence. Sacred Spirit of the universe, Divine Mother, Holy Father, this is the way we come to you. Empty, open, ready, ready for everything different, everything new. Ready to feel you closer and closer, to dive deeper and deeper into the experience of living as a spiritual being, knowing our sacred worth, knowing our divinity, knowing our oneness with the divine, our oneness with each other. We are ready, Spirit. We are ready.
Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in to the deepest kind of love, to the sweetest kind of life. Get ready, my soul. Everything I've ever done, everything I've ever seen, everything I've lost or won, everything I've ever dreamed has brought me here to the present moment, here to a new beginning, here, and I'm seeing life so clearly now. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in to the deepest kind of love, to the sweetest kind of life. Get ready,
That's my favorite song of all time. Happy New Year, everybody. I have a very quick survey for you. I would like to know how many of you actually stayed up till midnight last night. Show of hands. Okay. How many of you saw midnight ring in on your couch or in your bed? Yes. Yep. And I'm not even going to ask the other question because those people are not here this morning. We know who called in sick. No, I'm kidding. Good morning to everyone online, by the way. I know we have several people watching online this morning. Happy New Year to you as well. We have an interactive service today, and you're going to be able to play along at home, online. So what I would tell you at home online is that you're going to need 2 pieces of paper. And what I would tell everyone in here, hopefully everyone has received 2 pieces of paper, 1 3x5 card, and 1 envelope. If you don't have 2 pieces of paper, 1 3x5 card, and 1 envelope, then raise your hand and Benita will make that right for you. Few folks here. Few folks who need their, we're going to do homework today. Oh yeah, Happy New Year. So while we're rectifying the resources, the classroom materials, there is no textbook required for this class. Or there are several, the Bhagavad Gita, the Bible, the Torah, all the, okay. So I want to tell you, 2023, for those of you who are numerology fans, is a 7-year. It's a 7-year. 2 plus 2 plus 3 is 7, right? Technically, 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 3 is 7. So I want to share with you something from numerology.com because I'm sure they know what they're talking about. It may sound a little bit familiar, actually, because the address of our church is a 7. 826. 8 plus 2 is 10, plus 6 is 16. 1 plus 6 is 7, right? So when we first moved in here, the very first service that we had here, I shared a little bit of this. So it may sound a little bit familiar, but I thought I would share it again. Because this is kind of, it can be the energy around this new year, or not. It's up to you. The number 7 is both deep and wise. Not deep and wide, like the song we used to sing in Sunday school. Deep and wise. It is not satisfied with simple explanations and surface-level information. That is frivolous stuff. It knows that the real gold is buried deeper, and it won't stop until it finds it. And then it'll keep digging for more. Asking questions, researching, listening, and sensing are all special skills the 7 uses in its search for awareness. Though spirituality is especially important to the number 7 in numerology, it takes a more intellectual approach to life. Now, hang with me before I lose all of you unitics, all right? Like, we don't want to be intellectual. It takes a more intellectual approach to life than an emotional one. I like the idea of an emotional quotient, right? A lot of the work we do on personal development is toward becoming emotionally wise, learning how to really use our emotions in the least toxic, the most healthy way. So this is not necessarily a bad thing to sometimes take an intellectual approach rather than an emotional one. It is an analytical number that enjoys gathering and filtering through information to find answers. Still, it has a more powerful intuition than you might expect, which it uses as its guide. You see, what a beautiful, I think, number for the spiritual journey. To intellectually approach, to question. I think questioning is one of the most healthy things you can do on a spiritual journey. To question something. And then be guided by your intuitive response to it. By what you feel. This combination of conscious and subconscious thinking allows the mind of the numerology number 7 to shine a light into the very deepest realms to access hidden truths. I love that so much. That's why I love that song. Here we go. Get ready, my soul. We are diving in. And this time of year feels like that. So this New Year time often feels like this, like a trapeze artist. I also could have used like a relay race, right, where you hand off the baton from one year to the next. But that would cause you to have to be the baton in that metaphor. And you're a person. So I like this trapeze metaphor. And notice that this trapeze artist has to release what he was holding to, and for just a brief moment, be holding on to nothing. The new hasn't come in yet, right? That which is coming hasn't come in yet, but it was never going to come until the release happened. The letting go. The leap of faith, if you will, and trusting and knowing I'm going to be caught, and I'm going to be held, and I'm going to be safe. And even if I fall, there's a big old net, because my circus's insurance has insisted upon it, that we have a net. And so the circus of my life also has a net, and it's called grace. And I live in that grace every day. I think I fall into the net at least, twice a day. So, Happy New Year. What does this mean? This is the energy of this day. Happy New Year. What does it even mean? The whole reason that we have the calendar we do, this is the collegiate portion of our service. Deb usually has to have at least one of those. So the whole reason we have the calendar we do is because in 1582, Pope Gregory the 13th ordered a modification to the Julian calendar, which had been instituted with Julius Caesar in 46 BCE. It's been around for a long time. The old calendar, so here's the problem. Everybody thinks that the Gregorian calendar was brought along to include leap year because they forgot about that. They hadn't forgotten about that. The ancient astronomers were brilliant. They understood probably more about the way the earth and the universe and the planets and the stars and the sun moves than any of us. And they thought they were operating on the assumption that a year, right, an astronomical year, was 365.25 days. And so because of that 0.25 days, every 4 years we needed to put in an extra day. Leap day, right? The problem is that the astronomical year, I'm doing math. I'm so sorry. The astronomical year is actually 365.2425 days. Right? And so the problem is that over time, over hundreds of years, you get calendar drift because it's not exact. And the astronomers who worked for Pope Gregory, I suppose, had a way of fixing it. The Julian calendar, it had a leap year every 4 years, but the drift caused a problem, and the reason why the Pope got involved is because it impacted Easter. Because Easter is the first Sunday after the first full moon after the spring equinox. That's what the Nicene Council decided it would be. Well, when the spring equinox is March 21st, and then 500 years later it's March 18th, and then 500 years later it's March 14th, and then it's a problem. And so the Pope said, we got to fix this problem. So they came up with this very complicated way of fixing the problem. The first thing they did was that Thursday, October 4th, 1582, was followed by Friday, October 15th, 1582. October 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 1582 do not exist. Nothing happened on those days because they do not exist, right? Now, Great Britain did not adopt, it's one thing to invent a new calendar. It's another thing else altogether to get people to use it, right? So you had to convince people to use this calendar. I promise this is going somewhere. I promise. You had to get people to use this calendar. Great Britain did not adopt the Gregorian calendar until 1752, which means that all of Great Britain's colonies did not adopt that calendar until 1752, which means that Boston and Philadelphia in colonial times, were using the Julian calendar. Benjamin Franklin was born January 6th, 1706, and he lived a very long time. He lived like into the 1790s, I think. And halfway through his life, they changed the calendar. So he has 2 birthdays. His birthday is either January 6th, 1706, or January 17th, 1706. And if you use the Julian calendar, they used to write it January 6th, 1706, parentheses, OS, close parentheses, which stands for Old Style, which I think is a beer in Wisconsin, if I'm not mistaken. I do not know if those things have anything to do with each other. So here's the way that they fixed it. All right, I know you're just dying to know this. The way they fixed it is they kept the leap year every 4 years. We're going to have an extra day. We're going to put it in there, except if the year is divisible by 100, it doesn't get a leap day. Unless it is also divisible by 400, and then we're going to put that leap day in there. Believe it or not, that makes it work. Which is why all of you folks who are sitting there going, I was alive during the year 2000, and they didn't talk about not having a leap day. We had a leap day. I don't remember any of this. I think she's making this up. Well, of course, it's divisible by 400. We had a leap day. 1900 did not have a leap day. 1800 did not have a leap day. 1700 did not have a leap day. 1600 did. That is way too much math on a Sunday morning. But it's meaningful because time is made up. All of these constructs around what day it is and what time it is and what year it is, we've made up somewhere along the way, right? There have been, even in Western Europe, Christianized Western Europe, over the years, there were times, especially in the Middle Ages, when New Year's Day was sometimes March 1st, sometimes it was March 25th, sometimes it was Easter, whatever day Easter landed on. Let's call that New Year's Day. Some days it was September, in some places September 1st, some places used December 25th as the new year, right? The Chinese New Year is January 22nd. It's coming up. It's going to be the year of the water rabbit. And from what I've read, it's going to be pretty good. I think it's pretty good. Oh, Frank's going, I don't know. He'll fill us in later. In other words, well, let's pretend right now it's going to be pretty good. The Jewish New Year is September 15th, Rosh Hashanah. And this September 15th, 2023, on this year, it's September 15th, it will start Jewish year 5784. Because I don't know if you know this or not, but the Jewish people do not use the birth of Jesus as the beginning of all time. The Islamic New Year this year will be July 18th. It's the first day of their month of Muharram. The Hindu New Year, pretty much pick a month. You can find a Hindu New Year somewhere in there. Because, of course, the Hindu religion is very heavily driven by local cultures, local regions. So in certain parts of southern India, you might have a New Year in September. It's March, it's August, it's wherever. So New Year is happening around the calendar. Zoroastrians and Baha'i use the spring equinox as the New Year. In our ancient pagan traditions, the Celtic New Year is Samhain, November 1st, the beginning of the dark half of the year. For a lot of us, that seems a little strange that you would start a year at the beginning of the dark half of the year, but I love that you begin with reflection and retreat, introspection. What a great way. A lot of us could stand to begin a whole lot of things that way, right? I'm not looking at you, government, federal government. Anyway, the Norse New Year is the first day of their month of Harpa, which lands somewhere in mid-April or mid-May. Most Native American First Nations observe the winter solstice as the New Year. So in other words, it's kind of like it's 5 o'clock somewhere, right? It's New Year's somewhere. So today, January 1st, 2023, is both important and not important. It's not important in that it holds no special magic. There is nothing, the things that we're going to do today, interactively, you can do any day of the year. You can have a burning bowl on a random Tuesday in March. You can take every new moon or every full moon or every Monday, which is the moon day, and you can say, that's my new year. Happy New Year. Let's start all over. Let's release the old. Let's start the new. Take a hold of the new. And yet it is important because even though all of these other New Years exist, for business purposes, the Gregorians won, right? And so around the world, if you're doing business in Tokyo or Beijing or Delhi, January 1st is January 1st, right? And so all around the world, and for many, many years now, there have been a whole lot of people who've put new beginning energy into this day. They've put new start energy into this day, and we get to benefit from that. We can tap into that and take part in starting something new. So today is interactive, and like I said, you should have 2 pieces of paper, 1 envelope, and 1 3x5 card, and I'm going to tell you precisely what to do with those along the way, right? So first, step 1 involves 1 piece of paper. You can put the rest of it aside. Right now, we're just doing 1 piece of paper. This is the part of releasing. We have to release before we can bring in the new. So what is it that you want to release in 2023? That's what you're going to write on this sheet of paper. Charlotte's going to get the fire ready for us. And when you get finished writing on this sheet of paper, one by one, well, not one by one, after Ryan plays for us a little bit, you'll go out to the fire, but I'll tell you when. You'll go out to the fire and you'll put that into the fire. It's always best if you kind of wad it up or fold it up so that it doesn't just blow away, right, like some airplane. So you're going to want to put this into the fire and let it go. It's a great symbolic way of completely letting it go. So what do you want to release? Some people want to release sugar or caffeine or alcohol or cigarettes. Maybe you want to release procrastination, impatience or fear, lack, self-doubt, self-defeating behavior. Maybe you want to release expectations or assuming expectations others have. Maybe you want to release the expectations that you've assumed others have of you and that you've used to make yourself miserable when you just made them all up in your head. Maybe you want to release using words as a weapon, continuing to give to people who never seem to reciprocate. Or maybe you just want to give up the expectation that they will reciprocate and not let them change you and continue to be a giver anyway. Maybe you want to let go of the fairy tale that you sometimes substitute for real life. The brick wall you've built around your heart. Things you pretend you like, or other people's pain that you've taken on. Maybe you're ready to release some grief that has stayed in the early stages long enough. Maybe you want to give up a scorecard you internally keep with certain people. Or believing that any part of you is somehow never going to be worthy. Maybe you want to give up pretending you're not hurt. Or pretending you are hurt. Maybe you want to release the tension or the conflict that you have with another person without releasing the person. Maybe you want to release a person. Maybe you want to relieve the pressure to fill in the blank. Maybe you want to release core beliefs you've held about yourself since childhood, or whatever keeps you from seeing yourself as sacred. So Ryan's going to play for another minute or so, and I'm going to be quiet, and you just make your list. And in a moment, I'll give you your next directions. So when you're ready, you're going to go out front. Charlotte has a fire ready for us. And you're going to throw all that stuff in the fire and let it burn away. If you're doing this at home, please be careful. When you come back in, I promised you mimosas. And Susan and Marge and the folks at the back will have them ready for you. If you're over 18, oh wait, that's very European of me. If you're over 21, there's also juice. So when you're ready, go ahead and go out and burn up the old and come back for the new. I predict a lot more audience participation on the last songs you do, Ryan. You know, my Nazarene preacher father would have had better altar calls if he had served mimosas halfway through.
Or shots.
As we're coming back in and getting settled, I want to move on to the next part of what we're doing. We've got a couple more pieces. These will go a little bit quicker. You don't have to get up and move anymore. So as people are getting their drinks and taking their seats, I want to go ahead and talk about what happens when we clear out. You know, when we clear out, we create a vacuum, and nature abhors a vacuum. And I often think that all of the things that are waiting to serve me in my life are standing outside the door, and my ego is a kind of bouncer out there saying, I'm not sure I'm going to let you in. We're already full. The bar is already full, and nobody's leaving. So what it takes is for something to clear out in order to leave the emptiness and make the space for good to come rushing in. Perhaps some of you have heard about the idea of using a word of the year instead of an affirmation or a resolution. I like this idea of a word of the year because sometimes resolutions keep us focused on too specific of an answer, and when we don't get that specific answer, we think that it didn't work, or we're not powerful manifestors, or something of that nature. But the truth of the matter is that we are. And sometimes when we just focus on a word, we allow layers of the energy of that word to unfold in our life. And so maybe you can think of a single word, or one or two. There are no rules. There's some ideas there. My word for 2023 is trust. That's the energy that I've been feeling lately for my own life, to just trust the universe, to not try to make things happen, to just really rely, allow, right? The other night, some friends were at our house for a vision board session, and everybody had their word of the year. And so what is yours? It could be something like persistence, or acceptance, or faith, or prosperity, right? Expansion, awareness, evolution, peace, joy, ease. So I want you to be thinking around that idea, and I'm going to give you steps 2 and 3. Now, steps 2 and 3 are some of the most complicated, but I swear I'm pushing go forward. So go forward if we can. There we go. Yeah. Yeah, there it is. It's the same thing. It wasn't anything new. I don't know why I was so worried about it. But nonetheless, you've got another piece of paper and you've got an envelope. And what you're going to do in just a few moments here is you're going to write a letter to yourself. And you're going to talk about the energies that you want to have in this year and the things you want to remind yourself, because here's what we're going to do with that letter. The envelope you're going to address to yourself. In the to section, right in the center of the envelope, put your name and your address. We'll get the stamp. And on July 1st, we're going to mail this back to you. Now, we've been doing this for a long time at Unity of Music City, and those of us who have done this before will vouch for the fact that I don't care how much you think you will remember it, you will forget it. And on about July 3rd or July 4th, not July 4th because the mail doesn't run, July 3rd or July 5th, you're going to go to your mailbox and you're going to find a letter and you're going to say, gosh, that handwriting looks familiar. And it does, because it's yours. And then you're going to open it up and you're going to remember. And maybe you're wanting to tell yourself now, remember, are you staying focused on the goal that you had? Remember that your word of the year is this, right? What is it you want to tell yourself halfway through the year? So I'm going to ask Ryan to play again for just a moment, and you can start those letters. Some of you will get finished in the next 2 or 3 minutes. Others will still be here. We'll have to be kicking you out at 1:30, but no. So you can start that letter to yourself and address that envelope, and I'm going to give you just a couple minutes to work on that. For those who are watching online, if you want to finish your letter and mail it to us in the envelope, fold your envelope up, put it in another envelope, mail it to 826 Wren Road, Goodlettsville, Tennessee, 37 something, 37072. Or you can look on the website, or you can email it. We'll print it off. Be sure you give us your address. We'll mail it to you. For those of you here, I know some of you are not finished yet, but when you do get finished, after the service, you're going to take your sealed envelope that is addressed to you and put it in the red bucket that Benita's holding back there. It's on the counter next to where the mimosas are. You'll probably want to refill anyway. So you can put your envelope in the red bucket at the back. And you can continue to work on that. Some folks will work on it and bring it back next week. That's okay. Some folks will sit here for a few minutes after the service and keep working on it. That's okay. I want to move on, though. I do hope somewhere in there you remember to put I love you, because that is key to all of this goodness opening up for us this year. So what about this card? This is a new twist. Those of you who have been with Unity of Music City over the years, you're like, what's the card for? I don't know. We've never done a card. What's the card all about? So here's what the card is for. Thinking about the word of the year concept, I would like for you to write on that card the word of the year for Unity of Music City. What is the word of the year that you would hold for this spiritual community? Think about that for a moment. If you're with us for the first time, I am especially interested in hearing your word of the year. Those of you who've been around for a long time, I'm especially interested in hearing your word of the year. At the end of the service, I'll be standing back there by the red bucket, and you can hand that card to me personally. I'm going to sit with those prayerfully this week and share some of the results with you next week. So that's what I would like for you to do with that.
Where do these go?
There's going to go in my hand, in my hot little hand. You don't have to put your name on them, or you can, doesn't matter. So many of us know about this idea of the spiral. I said a couple of weeks ago that we're all teachers and we're all learners. And I think it's really important that this is for you to understand that this is a spiritual community that recognizes and knows that you are your best teacher. We're here to shine a light. We're here to hold your hand on the path. We're here to support in whatever way we can. But this is your journey and you are your best teacher. And this idea of the spiral is that we continue to come back around to the same ideas in our life. But on a spiritual journey where we're evolving and growing, the idea is we come back to them from a higher place. I don't know about you, but there have been issues from my childhood, right? And that I spent time in my 20s in a therapist's office talking about. And I spent time with friends over drinks on a Friday night boo-hooing about again and again and again. And every time I felt like I healed from it and moved on, a few years later, sometimes it pops back up. But every time it does, I'm a little stronger. I come at it from a higher place. I have a new perspective about what role all that played in my life. Perhaps it's still a painful role. I'm not excusing or making anything okay. But I have a little more distance, a little more elevation. And that's what this process of releasing and grabbing onto the new is all about. It's about spiraling up. Spiraling up. That's what this opportunity today gives us. And we can do this at any time. I mentioned Ben Franklin earlier in my tirade on math. I love Ben Franklin. He had a morning question and an evening question. I've mentioned this before, but I mention it all the time. My students are tired of hearing it, and you will be too. He had a morning question and an evening question. Every morning he asked himself, what good can I do today? And every evening he asked, what good have I done today? And as a final piece of homework, you don't have a piece of paper to go along with this, but I encourage you to think about, for 2023, what might be your morning question and your evening question? That one little habit added to your life, I think, could reap incredible returns. You can steal Ben Franklin's. I'm sure he won't mind. What good can I do today? What good did I do today? Or maybe you can make up one of your own. I've been thinking about the morning question of what can I release today? And the evening question of what good rushed into the space that I created today. Might be a wonderful way of doing this process on a daily basis. So, my friends, that's the homework. That's it, all of it. Happy 2023. My wish for you is that 2023 brings you closer and closer to the sweetness and the comfort of knowing on a daily basis that you are sacred and divine and a part of the whole of life, and you are one with all you see around you. Happy New Year.
You can continue to write if you're not done. You can just tune me out if you need to. That's fine. But I just want to remind everyone that where you are is all because of you. You are here because something led you here, and that is so important. And what you give and what you receive all adds to the multitude of blessings that Unity of Music City is, because Unity of Music City is a blessing. And we are a blessing because of you. So want to remind you that if you would like to do some end-of-year giving, you may certainly write us a check with the date of December 31st, 2022 on it for your end-of-year giving. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. So it'll be posted this week. So also remind you to give to the take a seat. And let's all, those of you who remember, let's say our offertory blessing together. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I choose to give and all that I am open to receive. And I'm going to sing our offertory blessing. Sherry and I will sing this to you as a prayer. Thank you, God, for opening our hearts and for all we feel. We carry you with us as we leave this place, knowing a love that's so real. Here in this moment, we stand in our truth. We welcome the peace that it brings. God, as you guide us, renew and remind us that you are the reason we sing. God, as you guide us, renew and remind us that you are the reason we sing. All right, let's all stand and let's say the prayer of protection. Sherry, will you lead us?
The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.
Life is good. We are truly blessed. All is well. Life is good. We are truly blessed. All is well. Life is good. We are truly blessed. All is well. Life is good. We are truly blessed. All is well. Life is good. We are truly blessed. All is well. Life is good. We are truly blessed. All is well. Life is good. We are truly blessed. We are truly blessed. We are truly blessed. We are. Thank you so much for coming. Thanks for watching online. We'll see you next week, next Sunday, to start 2023 off right. Have a great week, everyone.